any wins that anyone had at all. Um, I'll go over with one of mine and some of my team members. So just like everyone else, I'll start with Kayla, my other sales rep. So she was like, I don't know if everyone noticed, but obviously our target market that we're targeting, the searches were down. And I think it's also due to the interest change last kind of little bit of summer, like getting back to routines. But now we're seeing a little bit of a flux. So that's great. But Kayla has been calling for about, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And she hasn't really been getting, any traction, making good conversations with people, but nothing like right now. And she was feeling frustrated. And I just, anytime I feel like anyone feels like that, you just got to keep pushing through. My motto is that, like, God's testing you if you believe in God, but like God's testing you. You just got to keep doing your thing and you will be rewarded. Last week, she ended up getting 6 calls back. We ended up doing a CMA in Scarborough for someone. She has 2 more that's getting kind of prepped for that. And then she has 2 other buyers that hit her up. So it's just like, it's hard sometimes, but that's why before doing your calls, if you can do some push-ups or listen to your favorite music mix or whatever you need to do, maybe play with your kids and then hop on the call to get that energy going, whatever it is, I think that's a great way to start the calls and the mindset because it is tough. And remember, you're prospecting, you're out there basically on the corner, trying to find who's doing what, who needs real estate help, right? So obviously you're going to be getting a lot of no's. But the best part about Agent Locator is these are people who are soft searching communities, meaning that they are interested, they're just not ready yet. So this is a lot better than just cold calling a random street, as we know. And as long as you guys been following along and using the scripts that I've been saying and, even coming up with your own, I think really great opportunities.
And then with Kayla, as she's doing those calls to get those callbacks, what would you guesstimate as the total daily calls that she's making? How long is she in there making calls, or how many conversations is she having on a daily basis?
Yeah, so I actually have her sheet here because I also have a coaching thing. I'm a lot more organized these days. That's great. Thank God. But I have, and I think a great recipe for calling is when I call, I like to do ticks, right? I like to write it down. And if you're not marking your stuff down or watching your numbers, I think that you're missing some really great opportunities because then you can start being okay, if I make 15 calls, I should get 1 person. So then you start knowing your numbers. But here in Moretti Real Estate Group, what we focused on is 20 contacts a day. That's the minimum. So that means if you need to call 50 people to get the 20 contacts, hey, and that contact could be anything that you're talking real estate about. So if you're calling these leads and they hang up on you, it's a real estate call. They just said no, you can mark that off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But basically, I have a sheet essentially. I don't know if you
no, not with your background.
Okay.
It just disappears.
Yeah. So over here, sorry, I'll just take this background off. It's doing more harm than good. Okay. I'm back home, guys. I just got off the plane. I don't know if you guys can see. So this is our call sheet. So this is how many calls she did that day. So it's just, you know what I'm saying? She's out there calling. And I also track emails and text messages as well too, right? But as long, right? And that was that week. And then look at this, or that day, and then look at this one too. So it's just I'm training on everyone just to be consistently calling because right now, more than ever, when there's a market shift, you need to double down the people that you're chatting with. You know what I mean? You have to double down because there's a lot more no's than what we used to have.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And even Vic's doing the same thing and just is on the ball, getting on there. So it's all good. But you know what I mean? It's just, that's where it is. And I think that you're going to have days that you're not going to be calling. I mean, you're going to have days where you're not going to get success, and that's okay. Not every day you go out and hit gold. Right?
Yeah.
But remember, the whole point is to be talking to people daily. You're a business, you need to be having people come into your store. And that's how I see Agent Locator. Agent Locator is basically bringing people to your storefront. And now it's up to you to have a conversation with them, get to know them and help them in their real estate, transition.
Which makes sense.
So that's kind of that.
Sense. Yeah. And then when she is talking to these leads, what do you find for her specifically, or even yourself or anyone? What's the biggest objection that they're encountering right now when it comes to these conversations?
I think the three objections that we're facing is always number one, which is the earliest, is getting their like engagement, right? Like making sure that they're disarmed, meaning that they're open to listening to what you're saying. Number two is more so like, okay, if you find out that they're a seller, it's like, okay, most sellers are saying that they want to make a move next year. That's just what every seller says, right? So it's getting past through there and then educating them on like, okay, we don't have a crystal ball. Generally, this is the trend when things go up. But however, right now we don't have a natural demand, like drop in demand. It's because of it's a man-made, which is like government, right? Like at the end of the day, in Ontario, where I'm at, we're still in a housing crisis, right? Like, I mean, even though homes are sitting on the market here, like, even though there's not that many new listings coming out, but there's more active listings on the market, there's only still 1 month of inventory. Like, this is supposed to be the time where we have 3 to 5 months, and we're only at one. So it's still a heavy seller's market. It's just that people are not, they're scared. They're scared because as a mortgage rate, like people are getting like 5, 6, 7%, call it. And like some people don't know what to do. Either lock it in for 5 years or take a variable. I personally think that it's important to take a variable right now because they're going to go down again. There's no way that they're going to keep going up. But that's my personal opinion. Obviously, you do what's best, whatever you and your financial advisor advise. But that's kind of where we're saying. So it's like a lot of people are a little bit nervous. For some people who have been doing variables from now, let's say if a mortgage payment was $2,300, now it's like $2,800, $2,700. So it's just like that's what's scaring people right now. But there's still people that need to buy and sell. And then the third objection that we're seeing is really like once we get the CMA or even like getting a buyer, it's making sure that buyer is getting pre-approved and helping them push along the way. Just because a lot of people right now are not motivated, but if you can be that shining light and show them like, hey, like I get it. It looks really deceiving, but you know what? As you start putting the blocks together, it does get easier. And just kind of doing that. Also, we have like people that we refer to that are really great at their follow-up. So like, we're doing everything on our end to like make sure that that stuff doesn't get dropped. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't please everyone. Some people are not going to just take care of you. It's fine. But, I would just be focusing on those kind of like, that's just what we're saying, really.
Okay. That's good.
And it's short term. So,
short term.
Yeah.
Now, No, just curious if anyone in the group has anything kind of similar stories or what they're finding, whether it's, with your leads or your current market. Because I know a lot of us here in this group are from the Toronto area, but we may have some that are, of course, not in that area or province or country.
Right.
Right. And everywhere it's so interesting how everywhere is different. Right. That's like we're all, there's something similar happening, but it's different in every city or province or what have you. So like where I am, we have such a high demand from the Vancouver coast and from Alberta. Plus, we're like one of the fastest growing cities. It's the best place to invest in because there's so many vacation rentals. There's so many pluses that our market, it'd be pretty hard for our market to actually crash. A lot of people are like wondering 100%. If it's going to crash again. But because of all the positives within our market, it's doubtful that it would ever crash. There's just way too much demand for where we live. But the listings are still sitting. They're not moving. I'm noticing the price reductions coming in. It's everyone's kind of just sitting back and waiting. Because if you don't have to move, it doesn't make sense to move, then most people are just they're staying put, right?
Totally.
So,
and I think also too, Crystal, is another way that we've been winning on these calls is I think it's also too like being motivated while we're saying this. So like for example, like before being motivated, you can only be motivated when you're confident. How you get confident is by studying what you're looking at, right? So I think a lot of people who are on the call, if they're just calling and not having a script, like you need to sit down and write a script before you call. Listen back to like a bunch of our calls. I've been doing this for over a year. The script doesn't change. It's just like some things might, but the core doesn't. So figure that out. And also too, like study your numbers. And also when you're studying the numbers, like looking at the market stats, look at opportunities in the market. Like we go on social media and talk about like where the opportunities are lying each month based on what the numbers are telling us, right? So right now, like we are telling people, like if you're looking to, like right now, this is a better market that a lot of people are not used to. Everyone's used to selling their house, getting top dollar, and then only having three or four listings available. And you might not even like them, but you have to go in blindly, meaning like going to see the house, going to the crazy multiple offers, going 100K plus and going in firm for a house that you might not even love, right? Whereas this time, you're not getting those crazy high numbers. You're still going to get top dollar in this market. You're not getting the crazy high market, but what you're substituting from that is now you have more options, and now you can actually get something on a discount and conditional, right? There's a lot of great things. This is a great time for any seller that's looking to upsize. This is a great time because whatever was like 1.5 last month is now like 1.12, right? Because remember, when prices fall heavier on the bigger hitters, right? On the heavier price points. So in our market, year over year, like we're still up about 1%, right? So like, you're still okay. I mean, those people who bought like 6 months ago, they're still okay. It's just going to take a little bit more time to get there. This is also great for first-time home buyers, as we all know. This is also great for people who are making a lateral like move shift. Hey, I want to move from Toronto to Durham, right? Like getting the same type of house. This is a great time to do something like that. Downsides, this is also a great time to do that. Like there's a lot of wins in this market that I think that once you disarm someone where they're open to have that conversation to you and you're educating by not being boring, you're not like fumbling, you're being confident, you're just giving them the quick snippets. This is how you win in your conversations. This is how you book appointments, Make sure that once you know that they're a seller, like most important question, are you looking to buy or are you looking to do you just need to buy or are you looking to sell and buy? A lot of people don't even ask that question. Once you know that they have a house, you need to get them the nosy neighbor script. Once you get them on the nosy neighbor, now you have a seller lead, guys. Right? And now all your goal is just to check in and say hi and building that relationship. Don't be scared and just do your job.
Just do well. And it's just like the more and also the better knowledge and understanding of the market and the options creates that comfort, and it also helps to disarm the leads as well with those objections about the market, right? So you're able to handle them and give them some insight as to what it may actually look like for them, and then keeping into perspective that every lead in your system is a different situation, right? Exactly. So sometimes you have to look at each person, and as much as you want the listing or as much as you want the on the buy side, is it right for that person at this time to do that, right? And as long as you're honest, that's when if you tell a lead, it's like, yeah, no, I don't, based on everything that we've kind of reviewed and everything, I don't think that now is the best time for you. That's where you're going to gain the ultimate trust from that individual. Because then they recognize in that moment that you're not just after their checkbooks. You're actually after their best interest at that point. Right? So
and I even tell people like, hey, look, I like, as much as I would love to help you and also, make money, like I'm not going to do anything that like I don't think is right. And at the end of the day, I go to bed at night really nice. I'm not looking to change that. I'm not looking to scam nobody. I'm only here to help you get top dollar or help you get the best deal on your purchase. That is it. Because guys, like I've been in deals. Like I said, I've been doing this for 7 years, going on 8. And I remember in the beginning, there's deals where you did deals and you were nervous because something almost fucked up and you were going to be on the hook for it. And guys, like, that's not a fun feeling when you go to bed at night. I'm telling you. And closings are far away. So you're not going to bed one night like that. You're going 30 days sometimes.
Multiple days. Yeah.
And then once you have that much pain, you're never going to do it again.
Yeah.
And if you do, you just like pain. I don't know. I'm not into that.
I don't know. Yeah, you like living on the wild side.
No.
Oh yeah. I know that's never a good feeling. That's for sure.
No. And I think so. Rajiv over here, I think I've kind of already answered kind of the seller experience. Yeah, they're definitely getting the high. They're not getting the high price like the crazy number, but they're also not spending crazy number to lock down their other house. They also have options that they can get. And now like they can go out one day, see houses that they really like, and then take the next day, go see another set. And like, then they can actually pick. And also you can get like conditions. So I mean, like there's 4 wins in this market.
Yeah. There's time. You're not rushed into a purchase and then having buyer's remorse because, you know,
let's be real. Like the last market we came out of from 2020 to 2022 was really only good for realtors. You listed a property, you sold it, you got your money, you're good. You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, like, you know, it was also a really tough time for realtors because it's hard to price things or tell your client what to go into when like you don't know what the competition is and the competition's live, right?
Yeah.
So I like this market better because it's a win-win on both. Like, yeah, sellers, I mean, I hear you, but like there's also a lot of better wins that are not just money. And like you have to also tell your clients, like, it's not just money that you're winning, right? Like there's other things that you need to win on too, like timelines, like, you know, if it's right for you guys, what the value you're getting. Like there's so many crazy things that need to really happen, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, just understanding and having that knowledge. And again, looking at each seller as a different story, right? What might make sense for one seller isn't going to make sense for the next seller.
No, exactly. Yeah. I'm just going to go on my agent locator.
Lucy is saying, good morning. Totally agree. Recently implemented the questionnaire on the website and finding that it helps some prospects filter out, makes the calls easier. Also the interaction with prospects. So yeah, so it does definitely. You guys do have the ability to adjust that questionnaire as well. So knowing how, you know, if there's certain information that's important to you to understand about an individual registering on your website, you can, you know, update that questionnaire and really ask as many questions as you want to. But I would not bombard your leads with too many questions. But if there's information there that you find is important, then by all means ask it. Because again, even if you're working on a seller side or, you know, do you own your home? Yes. Like, how long have you lived there? Right? If they've only lived there for a year or two, then it may not make sense, right? But if they've been there for 25 years, then that may make a little bit more sense for them, right? So it's yeah, the more information you have, again, also probably makes those calls a lot easier because you already have that little bit of background information about them.
Totally. I'm going through some of our solds that even like, I know you guys have heard me and I know that you guys are probably tired of my voice. I hear you. Luckily, I built a team, so there's other people you can hear from now. So I'm going to, if I was going to play a call right now, Crystal, would I have to share my screen and share the sound as well? Okay.
Just the sound should be okay. I think. Just the sound. Yeah.
Share sound. Okay. Cool. Sorry, guys. So my emails are crazy. If you guys are OCD, you guys will not like my desktop, but sorry about that. So this is a call from Kayla. Can you guys hear static right now?
No, it's not too bad. No.
Hello? Sorry, I don't know why.
Call.
Oh, sorry. So it's just ringing. My apologies. Hello?
Hi, is this Kevin?
Yeah.
Hi, Kevin. It's Kayla from Moretti Real Estate. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, it doesn't, like, how come it doesn't show the other person's voice?
It does. We can hear it all.
You can hear it all? Okay.
Thanks. I figured it might be a little bit easier if I just gave you a quick call.
Yeah.
So you're looking for 4+ bedrooms. Do you have a preference for a single or a double car garage?
Preferably double.
Double. Okay. And is your max budget 780?
Oh, that's cutting out.
850. Okay. Perfect.
850. There we go.
Are there any other features you were looking for?
Possibly finished basement.
Okay. And are you only looking in the Clarington area?
No. Whitby, Oshawa, Ajax.
Okay, so basically anywhere in Durham?
Yeah.
Okay.
Preferably, yeah.
Okay, and is it just detached, or are you open to semis, townhouses?
No,
you guys can hear her answer, right?
Perfect. And
Sorry,
do you kind
guys,
of have a sense of when you were looking to buy?
Hear, like the person
speaking
back. Okay, because on my end, I don't hear it, so I'm just tripping.
No?
out here. So
okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Within 6 months to a year.
6 months to a year. Okay, perfect. And at this time, like, have you had a chance to get a pre-approval, or have you in the past?
I'm in a house right now that I'll be selling.
Okay, so you're looking to sell right now?
Yeah.
Well, in 6 months to a year?
Yeah.
Okay. Any particular reason why you're holding off?
Well, I just want to clear off some more debts first before I sold.
Okay, fair enough. Have you had a chance, though, to speak with your lender just to kind of get their opinion?
Not as yet.
Not yet. If you don't mind me asking, who do you bank with?
Royal Bank.
Royal? I have a great connection at Royal Bank. Would you be open to me having them reach out to you?
Sure.
Sure. Is there a good time for them to reach you?
So sorry, I'm gonna pause and
Mhm.
talk about certain things. So
Mhm.
this was one of Kayla's first calls when she came in last year. Okay. Obviously her calls are a little bit better, but I'm just trying to find some good examples right now. This was one of her first calls, which was great because I trained her and I coached her with the script. But like, notice how that person said 6 months to a year. We actually
Mhm.
signed the listing and it was live in September. And this was July call, end of
Okay.
July call. So
That's
just
what
keep
I
that in
always
mind.
tell everyone. Whatever they tell you, you cut it in half,
Right.
right? So you cut it in half, whatever it is.
You got it, Crystal. And
Mhm.
also too, like, it's really good to have, if you don't, and I think another way that we got in is we have referral circles. So we have people at RBC, we have people at Scotia, we have mortgage brokers. So like that's already an in there. So this is like all coming from contribution.
Anytime in the afternoon.
Anytime in the afternoon? Okay, perfect.
Or if it's during the week, early.
Oh, can't hear anything. Yeah, we lost Nick. He lost his internet connection. While we wait for Nick to hop back on, I know his internet isn't always the greatest where he is. Do you guys out there offer anything similar to that, where you have like your list of, I guess, like how a lot of you guys will have your preferred vendors, right? Do you have those lists that you hand out, or a similar situation when you're talking to somebody about lending that you can offer them, you know, and try to arrange that appointment for them to take things to the next level, rather than just always waiting on the lead to take that step to contact their lenders? You're going to have that lender reach out to them that's associated with that bank, or where they might already currently have their mortgage with. There you go.
I swear.
There we go.
You would think that I live in a third world country. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's all good.
Okay,
all
one
good.
second. Almost there. Okay.
Good.
Sure. 308 Wendell Street.
Okay. Sorry, what was that?
308 Wendell Street.
Okay. That's in Bowmanville, right?
Yes.
I'm just going to play this. I'll be back in 1 second, but listen to
Yeah.
this. This calls another 1 or 2 more minutes. Okay. I'll be
Yep,
right back
no
in 1
worries.
second.
Yeah, you betcha.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's going to just send you any new listings that come out and any that do sell in the area, just so you can kind of get an idea of what your neighbors' houses are selling for. But
yeah, I've seen a couple for like $689 the town.
Right, town. So obviously,
Yeah.
are you in a townhouse right now?
Yeah, I'm in a town right now also.
Okay, perfect. Are you and your family looking to upgrade?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Perfect. So how often would you like to receive these updates? Would you prefer daily, weekly?
Daily's fine.
Daily? Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. I've got you set up on that. Now, I'd also recommend, so like I know you are a little bit farther out, but I mean, even having a discussion with your lender and maybe knowing what your house is worth in today's market, maybe you can move things along a little bit faster.
Okay.
So would you be open to maybe me stopping by to do a home evaluation for you?
Sure.
Awesome. And when do you have some time available?
Possibly tomorrow, if you're available, or in the week, in the morning.
As long as it's before 2 p.m., so you'll be home?
Yeah.
Perfect. You have some time either Tuesday or Wednesday morning?
Yes, I do.
Is there a day that works better for you?
No, either, whatever works best for you.
Okay, perfect. How about Tuesday? Can you do Tuesday at 10 a.m.?
Oh, sure.
Perfect. Just so I know a little bit more about your property, how many bedrooms and bathrooms do you have?
3 bedrooms, 1 full bathroom and 2 halves, 1 in the basement and 1 at the front.
Okay, so 3 beds and was it 1.5 bath?
Yeah, I have 2 half bathrooms, 1 in the basement and 1 the powder room at the front.
Okay, perfect. And how long have you been living there for?
I've been here 2 years.
2 years, perfect. Have you made any upgrades since you guys have been living there?
Yeah, pot lights, I changed all the baseboards and put crown molding.
Nice.
All the frames around the doors have been done over.
Nice, so just cosmetic touches?
Yeah,
That's awesome. Do you have a finished basement?
yes I do.
Perfect. Perfect. That's great. I will definitely have our rep from RBC reach out to you in the next couple of days. And then I will definitely reach out to you as well before Tuesday just to confirm our appointment, okay?
No problem.
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Kevin. I look forward to meeting you on Tuesday.
Same here. Thank you.
Okay. Not a problem. Have a great weekend.
Same to you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So great call,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I mean, the nosy neighbor, she asked if she buy or sell, she sold right into the nosy neighbor. Like, she fumbled, but she still got it. Like, this is when she was newer. She's like pro now, and I'll showcase some of those calls. But like, you know, that's there. Then asking about, would you want a home evaluation, right? Like, asking all these great questions, and like, you know, from coming from contribution at the beginning, it was all good. So like he was saying 6 months to a year, he signed, like after we went to that appointment, he signed with us.
Yeah. It's and that's just another example as well. And I think Beverly says it often is like buyers are liars, right?
Yeah,
So
100%.
he threw off 6 months to a year, something in there, but his willingness for all these things was also kind of indicating that that might not actually be true. He's willing to talk to have you guys come in right away. He's willing to have a mortgage agent call him right away. Those, in my personal opinion, wouldn't be, you know, a common trait of somebody that's holding off for 12 months.
Right.
Right. So the fact that he was willing to do that, kind of like, for me, just listening to that was an indication that he was lying about that possible timeline.
Well,
you know,
and plus he probably didn't want to be bothered, right? Because like, think about how
what are you going to tell me? Yeah, absolutely.
And remember, like when he's coming onto our website, he's also going to 3 at least others who put his information in. So it's the race of who's going to be calling who first.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So, anyways, so that was a great way of doing it. So, right. And as you can tell, she's like a mini me. Those are exactly how I do my phone calls, as you guys heard many, many times. So there's nothing different. It's not just me. It's just know the script, find a way to personalize it to who you are, like authentically, and keep calling. That's it.
Absolutely.
And this was a 755 sale, and then they bought for like 800.
Right.
So that was really great. So there's just like so many great examples of how to do that. Now, this is when Kayla had a little bit more experience, and you can probably hear it. This is like maybe 3 months after that. And this is another listing that we sold for 1.2.
Okay.
one was a hard one.
Mm.
'Cause
Hello.
we did the
Hi,
CMA.
may I speak to Nicole, please?
This is her.
Hi, Nicole. It's Kayla calling from Moretti Real Estate. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I just wanted to reach out to thank you so much for signing up on our website and just to see how your home search is going.
It's going. It's not really officially going as of yet per se.
Right.
We're just trying to fix up the house a little bit first, and then we'll be listing and hopefully buying. So
Okay. Very nice. So you guys are doing a little bit of renovations on your current home?
a little bit, not so much renovations, just kind of like fixer uppers. I have 5 kids in a house, so you can imagine
Right.
there's a little
Gotcha.
bit of stuff that needs to be fixed.
Gotcha. Have you already had an agent in there to do a home evaluation and everything?
No, we haven't had anything yet.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Gotcha. Are you guys looking to upsize or downsize?
Down, unfortunately.
Downsize. Okay, perfect. So I saw you
Yeah.
texted me and you are looking for a detached with minimum 3 bedrooms and up to 750,000.
Walmart.
So essentially, our budget for a new house
Mhm.
is based upon what our current one sells for.
Right, absolutely. That's why I was
So-
wondering if you did have somebody come in. We have this Great Nosy Neighbor campaign I can get you set up on. So it's basically, it'll just let you know when your neighbors are selling and how much it's sold for. Did you want me to set you up on that?
What is it? Just like an email when the house sells in the neighborhood?
Exactly. So it'll just notify you when houses come up for sale in your neighborhood and what they sell for.
Okay.
I would just need to grab your address for that.
Address is 1592
Yep.
Quail Run Drive,
And what city is that in?
Oshawa.
In Oshawa. Okay, perfect. Is it a detached?
It is.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll get you set up on that. When were you guys hoping to move?
Well, the plan is to have it listed by next month
Okay.
and hopefully sold by next month.
Okay, perfect. So it does typically take about, up to 3 weeks to get your house prepared to hit the market. Would you like to set up a time for us to come in and do a home evaluation for you?
Provided bags. Did you
Is this number that you called me on a number that I can call you back on, or is there an email or something like that? Because it's not just me alone by myself that's selling. It's me and my father.
Okay.
So
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? This is my office number, but let me send you a text from my cell phone number so you have
Okay.
that, so you could text me or call me directly from there so we could set something up.
Okay.
Because, yeah, like I said, it does typically take about 3 weeks to prepare your house to hit market just by the time, we can go over, obviously, everything we include as agents to benefit you with your listing. So just by the time we get all that together for you, it can take a few weeks. If you're looking to list in September, now would definitely, be a great time for us to come in and do that home evaluation for you, just so we could get the ball rolling for you. And because you're doing it perfectly, like you said, you want to know how much your house is going to sell for, so you know how much you have to work with when buying your next property, right?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm in the middle of Walmart.
No, I'm so sorry. I know. I thought I heard your Walmart, self-checkout. So
Can I pay cash, please? Yeah, sorry.
No, not a problem. I can let you go, and you know what? I will text you my number, my cell phone number, and have that chat with your dad. If I don't hear from you towards the end of the week, I'll definitely give you a call back, and maybe we can set some time for me to come over and do that home evaluation for you.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Perfect. That sounds great, Nicole. We'll be in touch.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my pleasure.
You see the
Bye.
difference though, and make in 2 months of calling,
Yeah. Oh, it's
right?
just a different confidence level, or hearing that common objection coming back,
And
right?
this was
It's
my apologies. I just delay on my end, so it's not me interrupting you.
No.
Continue. My apologies.
No, it's just kind of, taking and listening to the indication of the lead of what they're anticipating, what their goal is, and then not letting them just so easily brush her off as being like, oh, I'll call you back. No. I'm not just going to hang up and say, yeah, you can call me back. Here's my number. It was, she kept digging a little bit more and set out the plan. She set the expectation as well, as far as if I don't hear back from you, I will be calling you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly it. But like, this was a 1.23 sell and they bought for 9 something.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
like, guys,
Mhm.
it's out there. I mean, this is
It is.
last year's stuff, but like I
Mhm.
have more going in, but this is just me trying to find certain calls off the fly.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, do you remember with this, it might be hard because it was a year ago, but do you remember with a specific story with that follow-up? Because I know a lot of you probably watching here, we have those conversations where it's like, we're going to do the follow-up. They say to call me back, or we agree on a time to call and they don't answer. Right. And then I know a lot of people get frustrated with that process. Do you recall if this was a similar process for Kayla with this individual lead? Did the lead call her back, or does she have to kind of continuously kind of follow up to get her back on the phone again?
Yeah, this was actually a tough lead. So she was really cool and really always like able to answer us. Like I think after we talked to her, I think she texted and then didn't get back to Kayla for like a week. And you know, Kayla was freaking out low key. And I was like, listen, like, don't worry, like we don't also know what the fuck they're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like chill, you know, just keep
Yeah.
following up and doing your thing.
And the thing, and that kind of the hindsight on that is that unfortunately we have to downsize. Right.
Yes,
so
right?
so that was also a kind of indication that this isn't a move because they want to. It's kind of, it almost sounds like they're moving because they have to.
Exactly.
At
And
this
that's
point,
kind of what
right?
it was, you know, they had like they had some sort of scenario. So that's what happened. But then when we went into do the listing presentation, we went there, everything was great. We told them what our listing price is, and we didn't budge. Then on the fall, we didn't sign anything there. They were just interviewing other people. And then we kept, you know, Kayla kept messaging her every week and they kept budging like, hey, we'll sign with you, but like, you know, give us a discount. I was like, I'm sorry. And like Kayla was like, Nick, like, what are you doing? I'm like, listen, like you have them, just you need to stand firm. This is how you're showing them that you can negotiate on their behalf. Like just chill, you know? And we went back another time and like just to talk about it and nothing was done. And then she called us saying, we're ready with you. And then we called and got it done.
Nice.
So like this one was a tough one. And this one was a really great one for Kayla to learn because it was like everything that I tell you guys, how it's like waiting. Like this was one of those waiting ones. And it was really good. It was a really good thing. And remember, like putting deals together is hard. And when you complete it, it's actually a really great feeling. And you get like a high off it, right? And that's why I think that's why I don't take days off. I'm like so addicted to this. It's just fun, right? But that's kind of what it is. And like Kayla's doing everything that I taught her, which is what I'm teaching everyone in this call every 2 weeks. So I don't know if I don't know if she reached out to you, but I think it was Shanna Kelly or whatever. Do we know if she booked that CMA that I gift wrapped to her?
No, I don't know. I don't know if she actually did.
Yeah, because that would be good to see like her experience on like, just so she can even come to the group because I see that she comes here and talk about her experience on that. Because remember, I'm here for you guys. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I already have the scripts. I already know how long it takes, all that stuff. So I'm really here for you guys. Just, any questions, any like, objections that you can't handle or feelings or whatever, like this is the time to answer because this is why I'm here. So if you guys have any questions about like maybe where your leads are at, or you don't know how to go from this standpoint, or how do I touch base with someone after they said like they're just looking, like all these kind of things, right?
Or any situations that have arisen when you are doing these calls where, or it could even be an objection that, maybe you thought you handled well, but, did you, right? Could you have done something different to get a different result?
100%. And like, obviously right now, a lot of objections are talking about interest rates, obviously.
Yeah.
But we have to also tell people too that like, hey, I understand that. But now, in the last 7 years for me doing real estate, usually every 10 years, your equity doubles in your home, right? But what we've seen in the last 7 years that we've been seeing a lot of this really highs and then really lows, but that's been happening every 3 years. So like 2016 to 2017, I mean, who could ever predicted COVID? And that was 3 years later from 2020 to 2022. Do you know what I mean? So it goes to show like, they're pulling the market off now. There's a really good opportunity to buy something really great at a discount price. And then in 3 years, if interest rates go back down again, we already know prices will be going up. So you're kind of in hindsight setting you up for another gold mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Right. So that's kind of really it.
No, those are both great conversations. And the fact that she, goes and it also showing somebody that, is brand new on the phone having conversations to someone that's been doing it consistently enough where they've gained that confidence in handling the call and kind of guiding that lead to where she wants to position her.
Exactly.
And get her to move forward. Because
Totally
again,
agree.
you guys will have a lot of resistance, right? There's always a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
With all these leads, doesn't matter if they're ready to list their house tomorrow or next year. There's almost always resistance of some sort and to some degree.
Poker face.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
So
got a quiet group in here.
I know,
does
guys.
Does anyone have any questions or anything?
No. You guys are all masters.
We're all just taking it all in. And by all means, if you guys have questions that you feel would be easier to ask verbally, just, use the raise your hand feature and we can definitely unmute you so that you can actually talk and ask your question or have a conversation about what you've encountered. Now, I know, Nick, you've mentioned your campaigns. You've noticed that the searches have come down as far as, is it like with leads registering? You've noticed that drop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot more like, now we're seeing a little bit more of a flux, but remember, this is all live feed, right? Meaning like, if no, like, I don't think my full budget was used last month because there wasn't enough searches in that area, right? Which happens. But I also let's think about why that happened is because there was like so many interest rates rising and like that last one really obviously like changed the market even more. So that was a little bit tough, right? But now remember, guys, people have to move, buy or sell. There's people have like life-changing stuff that is happening and like they have to make things, and especially with like interest rates rising, I don't think people who bought a long time ago are hurting, but it's more so the people who are just bought, and if the interest rate went up and now like they're over leveraged, it's a tough conversation. But where I was going with this is I don't even know where I was going with this, but it happens sometimes, sorry. But at the end of the day, I think what happens was like, when people are scared, they're not going to search. But now, like, like I said, there's only a certain amount of timeline that people can pause their search, which is 30, 60 days or 90 days. But then like they need to move, right? Like people are moving not because they want to. It's not like you're waking up like, you know what? I'm going to move today. Like it doesn't work like that unless you're like really rich. And if you are, like, let me help you buy real estate. But if you're not, like, dude, no one just does that.
There's usually some sort of reason behind your move, generally speaking.
Right.
Not just moving just cause. Right? We're just gonna put ourselves through that chaos just because we feel like it. Right? There's usually a goal in mind. Right. Right.
And also too, I find that even last year, like there was around this time near the end of the summer, beginning of like the first couple of weeks of September, there was still a lull in the searches. Cause I remember like this kind of happened the same time. Obviously it's a little bit more because of interest rates and stuff like that, but it has picked up. We have been getting a lot more leads coming in and it has picked up. People are more like with our scripts that we've been using on our online campaigns, people are messaging because we just revamped our online campaigns.
Okay.
Because last time we didn't update it for like at least 10 months.
Okay.
So like certain things weren't working anymore and we weren't getting as many responses. So, just like trial and error, right? And that's how you find success.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, but that's kind of really it, to be honest with you guys.
Perfect. Now Priyanka has a question.
Hey.
Hey, Nick. Hi, Crystal. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Good.
Good.
Nick, I wanted to ask you about the campaigns and the online campaigns and newsletter you work with. Honestly, I don't know where to start or how to handle that component. So is it possible if you could share some of that information or maybe, have a
Yeah.
call, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'm not gonna like, to be honest with you. I put time and effort into my campaigns, and I put like hours of researching what would be the best by our trial and error. That unfortunately, I'm not going to share it just
No,
because,
I mean, not
you
sure,
know,
but just giving some pointers so that
for
I
sure,
can also start rolling up and seeing how things, I can
for
try
sure.
different things, but I just need your help to kind of
Yeah, for
get
sure. I can
started.
definitely guide you. So basically, remember, Agent Locator already gives you like 2 or 3 automatic campaigns, right? That comes through. So the first one is more so like, thank you for registering. We kept that one. So it registers them 5 minutes later and sends a text message saying like, thanks for registering. You're looking at prices between this and this in this city, right?
Mhm.
Then the next one that we did was an email that was more of a thank you. And we have a picture at the bottom of who we are or who I am. So it shows a little bit more personalities, and it goes to talk about like, hey Priyanka, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for registering. I understand that you're in the information stage, but my goal is to make sure that you have a great user experience, and I'm not filling up your inbox. A little bit about myself and the team, yada yada yada, and go from
Mhm.
there, right? So it's a little bit more of a welcoming thing. If they open it but then don't respond, the next thing would be like, okay, like, are you area driven or search like specific house criteria, right? And then kind of asking like, what are you looking for next? Like, are you looking for 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms minimum? Or like, we're really just like, how we're doing it is like picturing like you're in front of that person, and it's, how we're going through this whole script, how Kayla went through that whole script. We're
Mhm.
just breaking that script up in emails and text messages.
Okay. Okay.
That's really what we're doing.
Mhm.
So like, what I would do is I would sit down, go on a Word document or freehand write it, and like talk about like the different steps that, are available. If anyone is in KW or Keller Williams, you'll have access to something called Command, and in Command, there's like scripts you can put, like campaigns like this that people share, that you can copy and paste it to yours if you feel like that works. But it's great because then you can take a look at 4 or 5 different ones and then piece them to whatever you think is better.
Okay. Mhm.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where it's at.
Okay. Okay. That's good. I'll try. But if I try and build something, would you be able to just go through and critique it?
Yeah, for sure. Just send me
Okay.
and I can definitely let you know
Sure.
on how to do it. But I think the best way of doing it is writing out your whole, and that's why I said scripting is so important. You have to know what you're going to say from the start to the end, right? And then once this finishes, then like where does the next script pick up? And I think like, what we're really doing is we're having these conversations that I'm saying over the phone, breaking up in different segments, and also throwing different questions and stuff like that in, that allows us to get responses. Because basically these online campaigns are your inside sales reps that are not obviously calling your leads, but they're sending your emails and they're sending you your text messages automatically. Because at the end of the day, once you get to like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 leads, you can't keep up with everybody.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend. But yeah, I can definitely go over anything that you do have. You just have to let me know what you're thinking.
Okay. I will definitely do that. Thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah, anytime. But that's kind of
Yep.
it's kind of it.
Awesome.
So
Perfect.
other than that, I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. It's
Yeah.
11 o'clock my time. Great time to call. Great time to implement. When we go to like there's a lot of agents that go to seminars, but they're like master seminars, meaning that all they do is go to seminars. But like you got to go to these seminars and then implement what you're doing, right? So we've talked about the nosy neighbor. If you guys haven't done the nosy neighbor, why don't you try making calls and throwing the nosy neighbor pitch in? You'll be surprised on how it works. So yeah.
Perfect.
Any last remarks,
Yeah.
Crystal?
No, I think today was a great session for people to actually hear the conversations and handling some of those objections, or how the conversations can be steered. Nonetheless, and then also kind of just understanding, that it's not necessarily a horrible time. It's just about understanding and really gaining that knowledge of the market and the possibilities, depending on who your buyer or seller is, right? So there is opportunity. Yes, there is some people sitting on the sidelines, but even though they're watching interest rates, a lot of people watch that as a primary focus rather than saying, well, this is why, even though interest rates are looking like this right now, this is why it does actually make sense for you to take advantage of this market. Right.
Exactly.
Or no, it doesn't make sense. Stay where you are. Right?
Yeah.
So one or the other.
Yeah. And the other thing that I was going to just say, like the last little aha moment that I had while making these calls was like, okay, guys, you know, when you go to like a bank, like you're talking to a wealth manager, or you're talking to, it doesn't matter. You know, when you go to a store, let's just say, for example, or a service, and that person that you dealt with that was servicing you, like was super professional, like built so much trust with you, you engaged with them, and like, you know, then you ended up using their service. Like, think about like what you want when you're looking into hiring someone, because remember, we're all interviewing for positions. So you need to know like what people want, or what would you want someone to
seeking. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
and like, yes, you got it, Crystal. Sorry, my connection. Third world country over here in Toronto. But like, yeah, so that's what I would recommend. Like, that's how I always make my scripts, is like, what would I want someone to say to me?
Yeah.
So last
what
little
would win
aha
me
moments.
over, right? What would win me over, right? Or have me consider this person, maybe not, you know, but make me kind of lean a little bit more in their direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got it.
Awesome.
But I hope everyone has a great day.
You as well. Thanks, Nick. Thanks everyone for hopping on, and we'll see you all in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.